Hello, everybody. Let us slowly start the stream. I hope everybody is doing wonderful today. I'm on a super cool period. Well, it's a little bit stressful because I'm super behind on my deadlines to revise papers. But I'm on a super cool period because I'm revising the papers, reading, thinking about new framing. So I really enjoy this part of my creative process as an academic, and it is exactly about my creative process as an academic that that I want to talk to you about. Talk to you today. Um, so I want to talk to you about my experience of writing a book as an academic. Uh, and books don't count, right? Books don't count. But I love writing, and I love teaching. I love coming up with new ideas for teaching, and so I wanted to write a book for managers to learn. Okay, I want to write a book for managers to learn, but I didn't want to write sort of a traditional book based on my research and so on. I wanted something different. I wanted something fresh to have something fresh to offer, but I also wanted to challenge myself as a writer and to challenge my imagination and my creativity as a writer. So I found a book that really set up a compelling challenge for me, that I was like, I need to write the managerial version of this book. Okay, so I'll show it to you. So this is a book that I once found at a bookstore, and I bought it. It's called This Book Will Change Your Life, and it basically has 365 things to do. So for every day of the year, there's something to do. Okay? And so this is the cover, and I'll show you, this is a page because I feel like, I want to show you how I felt, how I took this as a challenge. So this is for day 11. Today, introduce yourself to someone you know but never speak to. Okay. So the idea, so this is something that you can learn from. It's something challenging, and look at how beautifully designed the book is. That really inspired me as well, that I wanted to do something beautiful where I paid attention to design. Okay, so this is the inspiration. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to show you what I came up with, and the entire book was designed by me. I didn't hire any of the design work, because I also took a lot of pleasure in creating the aesthetic for the book. So I design everything. Okay, so let's see it. Okay, so the book's in Portuguese. Okay, let me put this on. The book is in Portuguese, and I'm obviously working on the English version, and it's called What's Your Leadership Voice? In Portuguese, I just thought it would be better if the title was Discover Your Leadership Voice, but the title in English is What's Your Leadership Voice? And I designed the cover, really proud of it. I think it's super cool. So anyway, so I designed the font, I chose the font carefully, and the book has all this like graphics around it, where I really paid attention to the aesthetic that is a little bit Victorian and so on. Okay, so here we go. I just want to show the aesthetic, and then we'll talk about the book when we get to part 2. So basically, what I did is I created 4 sets of activities that would allow people to think about themselves as leaders, to reflect about themselves, and maybe even to change. Okay, so this is part 2 of the book, and it's about your leadership numbers. Okay, and so there's always an introduction with a little quote. This one is from Foucault. As you see, the art is there, And then there are 4 activities. So in this one, it's basically helping people go through their calendar and see what leadership role do they play more frequently. Okay, so you can, you have space to answer this here. And at the end of this activity, what I do is I provide the references for all of the research, because this is not the assignment. The task is creative. It was created by me, but it's based on either state-of-the-art research or research that is overwhelmingly accepted in management scholarship. So, for example, this one is based on Mintzberg's The Manager Job. And what I did is I shared a few references that people can check, because when I was young, I really loved these books by Tom Peters, who's a management guru. And Tom Peters had like huge list of references, and I just love going through them and reading about all this research. So I wanted to give that opportunity as well. So you don't need to read the research to do the assignments at all, but it's here for you to understand, or for people to understand where this comes from. And if you want to find out more, you can find more. So a bunch of activities, stuff to do, stuff to learn, and then after these 4 activities are done, okay, you get a reading. And a reading is a book that I suggest people to read as an opportunity to sort of like think deeply about what they have done in the assignments. Okay, I always include an article if people don't have the money to buy the book, or don't want to or just don't want to read the book. There's always an article included so that people can look at that, and there's the link to the article and more reading. So really cool. Okay, then there's a story. Okay, I tell a story of a company, normally in 1 or 2 pages. Okay, so this is Mary Kay, and then I show I do a little show and tell for a company. Okay, so this is the measurement system that Patagonia uses. Okay, and then after all of this, there's a final task where you've done all of the activities, you read the book, you read the story, you saw the show and tell, and here's sort of like your final task, and then the final task is a takeaway. It's something that you can use to do your job differently, to lead differently, right? So here, what you're doing is you're creating a small dashboard for yourself, okay? So that's the idea for the book. This was my take on this book will change your life, okay? The art is not as good, but there is some concern with art and design. I hope you saw it in the book. And and there are still quite a few activities. So there are 16 activities, then 4 final activities, so that's 20. And then there's a story in the book. So you can basically do 1 every 2 weeks, okay? And it will take you a year. And I just thought that this would be a nice rhythm for managers. So what do I get from this? Well, I'm selling this book. I'm presenting it on Sunday, and I'm selling. I didn't spend a lot of money on it. I spent 25 euros on the cover, and I spent around 200 euros on the image. So I roughly need to sell like 100 books. And my idea is I wanted to do a book that managers would use, but I think it's like super difficult also to sell books for managers. So I also want this to be like a teaching tool, okay? I want it to be a teaching tool, so that, you can use either one task or a set of tasks and the reading in class with your students to teach them about something, okay? Because, basically if I sell to 4 groups of 20, I sell 100 books, which, that's the idea. I mean, do I think I'm going to get rich or make a lot of money from this book? No, but I had such a fun time doing it, and I really feel accomplished as a writer because this was a difficult creative challenge that I think I pulled off. I think all of the tasks are fun. There's variety, and none of them is gimmicky because they're all based on really solid research. Okay. So that's what I'm doing, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my website, and just in 1 minute, I'll just show you the other book I'm working on. That one is in English, and at this time, that book is it is with a proofreader. So my idea is that I'll launch it in roughly in a month. So this is the book. It's called Who is a Machine? And basically, there's this view on information systems that I think is super useful and super powerful, called structuration theory. But that is really arcane and difficult to understand and only shared in academic papers. So but I have a bunch of slides, and I think now I can explain this in a way that my students understand it, and in a way that is fun, right? A way that is fun. So this book is basically the size of 2 academic articles. So it's 10,000 words, basically. And it does that, right? So again, this is... the general public can read this and they'll understand it. I think they'll enjoy it. But the idea is that for my friends that teach IS, that they have something, right? That they have something for to do that, right? So, and what I did is I did this table that has all of these examples that people can use in class. I'm on 17 examples, but I'm always updating this. So I also enjoy this very much. This is, it's like a book with text, okay? But it is relatively short and it has a lot of super fun writing it. I already collected all the art, obviously, because I really want to pay attention to design as well. So I collected all the art for the book, and yeah, and hopefully it will be fun. Okay, everybody. So that's it. That's my take on books. Just to finish, should you write one? If you need an outlet for your creative expression as a writer, like I did, yes. If you want to make money, no. If you want to be promoted, no. Okay. So yeah, but if you enjoy conveying knowledge to people, creating tools for other faculty to teach, then yes, definitely this is I'm going to keep doing it. I really loved working on this book, on these books, and I really like them. Okay, so hope everybody enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye bye, everybody.